Okay, 7 in the morning, day after the marathon. Let's have a race recap, but first, we've got to drive home to Worcester. Let's go. Also, you better believe that I'm wearing this the whole way home. You just need to get your Mets one on.
It's in the car.
We'll look like heroes of...
What, on the ferry?
Yeah, we'll look like racing heroes. Wow. It's a rather pretty sunrise here in Amsterdam. Can we stay for just one more day? I don't want to go home. We're going to get to Dunkirk, directions.
Okay.
4 hours 2 minutes. Which way are we going? Through Antwerp, through Ghent. Brilliant. All the places we've just been.
The route crosses through Belgium.
Right, let's go. So there it is. As the marathons say, I ran my masterpiece, whatever that means. Amsterdam 2022, you've probably seen the video by now. It was an amazing run, and I just wanted to unpack everything from the marathon itself, because it was not just a day of hard work, it's been 15 weeks of hard work. So I just wanted to say a few things. Obviously, you've probably seen the marathon by now, and you know that I finished in 4:02, which I am beyond. So no, I'll just put this, I'll put this down. Which I'm beyond pleased with, 4:02. So we got a PB by over 20 minutes and just missed out on that sub 4 hour, which I'm not upset about, because there are plenty more marathons in the sea. There is always going to be a chance in the future to try and slightly beat that. The official time was 4:02:19. Garmin said I did it in 4 hours 2 and 20 seconds, so 1 second difference, with an average pace of 5:39, because the watch measured it at, what was it? I think the watch measured it long at, I think it was 42.8 kilometers. So there was quite a discrepancy. I don't know what happened there, which threw my average kilometers, my auto laps out of whack straight away. But again, so that actually gave me, 600 meters longer than it should have been. I've seen a couple of other people's Stravas and Garmin's, and it does look like it was recorded a bit long. So, but we have to trust the official course measurements. We can never rely on Garmin. It's just annoying when you see that you've run further than you were supposed to. If Garmin's can be relied upon, but I don't think they 100% can. The watch said 42.87. Yeah, I've just written it down there. I've just read that. So yeah, just wanted to chat to you about a general, the feel of the day. So getting there, we stayed at a hotel. I won't even attempt to say what neighbourhood we were staying in, because I just can't say it. But we were one stop away from the main metro station where you get off for the Olympic Stadium. We bought a 3 day travel pass, which was discounted. We got €3 off that, or $2.50 with a marathon code, which was great because the organisers gave us a discount, which was really nice. So we used the metro so much in those 3 days, and then everyone walked over to the start line. It was busy, but not crazy busy. It was sort of like London at rush hour busy. It's just a little bit packed in tight. It was manageable. It was fine. It's what you'd expect from an event with 40,000 people plus spectators all arriving at the same time. So the mass start wasn't too bad either. Everyone went off at 9 o'clock. The elites obviously went off first. And I can't remember what the colours of the waves were, but I was in orange wave, and I was in the section between 3.5 hours and 4 hours, because I tactically put my start time down as 3:59:59, which is what I expected to finish in. And we went off 13 minutes, I think, after 9 o'clock. I think it was about 9, 12, 13 minutes after. So there was a bit of waiting around and watching other people go. But the event organisers were great. They were opening, closing gates for the different waves. And then we eventually got off, and it was good. It wasn't as tightly knit as I thought it would have been. I'd heard people say that you have no space. It was a little bit like the Great North Run, but there was quite a lot of space. I didn't trip up over anybody's legs. No one tripped up over mine. So yeah, plenty of space, a lot of room for manoeuvre, nothing to worry about there. I don't know what it was like further back. Could have been more congested, I'm not sure, but in my experience, it was okay. So let's have a little chat about the splits then. So my pacing, I'm so proud of. I can't believe it went as well as it did. And the one thing that I did do, which you won't believe, I don't think you'll ever hear me say this again or have done before, I didn't go off too fast. My first 5K came in at 28 minutes, which is a 5:43 pace, which is bang on pace really, because I wanted to try and get the first half of the race over 5:41 and then maybe try and pick up a bit of speed if I could in the second half, just to make sure I didn't go out too fast. Going through 10K, 5:45, so we slowed down a little bit there. 15K, 5:45, exactly the same. Going through 20K, we picked up the pace a little bit, that was 5:40. And we got to the halfway stage at 5:47 pace, which is 2 hours and 44 seconds, which I was just super happy with. And not only that, I was feeling good at that point. My heart rate was low, it was under 150, which I couldn't believe. And the whole thing up until that point felt really good. Continuing on to 25K and 30K felt good. 25K, got a bit carried away, 5:33 pace. 30K, 5:42, so we're starting to slow down a bit. And this is where I joked that I was going to hit the wall. I didn't actually sort of hit it. It was more like a speed bump, do you know? It really, really slowed me down. Not substantially, but enough for me to notice it and feel it. By 35K, I'd slowed down to 6K minute miles. And then going through 40K was 5:51, so I picked it up. And then I finished strong over the next 2 kilometers with a 5:34 pace. And the official finish time was 4:02. So maybe it did record, maybe it is a slightly longer marathon, I don't know, but we've got to trust the official measurements. I finished 6,484th out of 12,664 finishes, so almost exactly halfway. And yeah, so that's how it went for me. It was amazing that I hardly walked anything. I probably walked about 1% of the run, 3 or maybe 4 water stations. So what's that? I don't know, 10, 15 seconds per water station from 30K onwards. And ran the rest. So super happy that I managed to run 99% of that marathon. The finish line, Laura was up in the stadium. She filmed a little bit for me, which is great. Got a few photos. We both decided that it was better for her to wait in the stadium. She can have a sit down. I didn't know whether I was going to finish in 8 hours or 5 or 4. So I just thought, just go and take a seat and wait for me. She can track me on the app, which was a nightmare apparently for spectators, but started working eventually. And she was able to track me in the last hour, and I arrived when it said I was going to arrive, which was good. It was a flat course. The support was unreal. There was a big section, the middle third of this race is run on the river. That was the quietest section, and that allowed you to kind of find a bit of a groove, find a bit of a rhythm, and just when you hit 25 kilometers, that's when the race really starts to start, I think. So that's when you need the support, and that's when it does build back up. And I've written here marathon major ? Should it be a marathon major? Well, it's not a point-to-point race, and I don't know if that's one of the big criteria for a marathon major, but the atmosphere was amazing. It was just phenomenal. Like, it was on the similar level, not the same, to the Great North Run, because there were big patches where there was no support. But where there was support, the Amsterdammers were just crazy. The noise they made was amazing, and I had a lot of fun I had a lot of fun with the crowd, as you'd expect. I do love a bit of a drama queen. I do love to get the crowd going a bit. But anyway, now I wanted to do a shout out to a couple of people that were closest to my time. Now I've got here Jack question mark. So Jack wrote 4:02:56, but then it says in brackets edited. So I don't know, Jack, if you tracked me and changed your opinion. I don't know, because I don't know when you changed your opinion or when you edited that thing. But anyway, you were the closest. But I've also put here Aaron Foster's wife. Aaron, your wife said here 4:03. So you, apart from Jack, were the closest. So congratulations to you two. And I just want to finish by saying, like, the lessons I learned from Brighton from my first marathon really helped this marathon go so well. The main lessons I learned were fueling. So I took with me 6 gels, and I had one before the start line with the intention of having one every 8 kilometers. Now, my race strategy changed, my fueling strategy changed, because at one of the water stations, I hate littering. I don't know what it is. There's 18 million bottles thrown all over the road. And for some reason, I can't just throw my gel packet on the floor. I have to find a bin. I don't get it. I ran and found a public waste bin. And as I ran, one of my gels fell out of my pocket. Went to get it 8K later and it wasn't there. So I had to change my strategy. So I ended up having the remainders on the every 10 kilometers, because I actually took one gel whilst in the starting pen a minute or two before I set off, which I think was a really good idea, because I had lots of energy going through the first 20k, which felt really good. So that was a big thing. The shoes, I know you all want to know how I got on with my Vaporflies, but I paid a lot of money for these. They were 160 quid discounted as well, and they are the best things I've ever put on my feet in my life. Everyone says they're really uncomfortable to walk around in, but I don't find them that uncomfortable. I think they're really actually quite nice. And I've also, through buying the size 9 Vaporflies, because I take a size 8, my feet are actually, I think, about an 8 1/4 or maybe an 8 1/3. I think that's my official sizing. So the Endorphin Speed 2s I wore for Brighton were 8 1/2. And through slippage of the foot, when you run, I seem to get a pain on the outside of my foot. And I can only put it down to wishing that I'd bought a size up, or half a size up in the Endorphin Speed 2. But I didn't know that at the time. I thought it was normal to just be in agony when you're in a marathon. But the Vaporflies, learned my lesson from that. And I've run some brilliant races in them, a 10k in Metz, my half marathon in Worcester, and the Great North Run, and now the marathon. So they're a brilliant shoe, hugely recommended to buy those Vaporflies version 1. And the last thing was, like I said before, I didn't go off too fast. And I say in the video, when you think you're going slow in a race, just slow it down again, because you think you're going slow, but you're really not. You've got to just have a chat with yourself and realise that you're probably going faster than you are. And running, it almost feels counterproductive, or almost like it doesn't feel good to run easy, especially when you've trained at faster paces. So there were times when I was running at 5:50 pace, and it just felt like, I can go at 5:30 here, 5:25, 5:20. But I had to resist the urge, because I knew what would happen later on. And that allowed me to run consistently. I think my splits are the most thing I'm most proud of, that my pacing for every split, the difference was 15 seconds between my fastest split and my slowest. So 5:43, 5:33 and 6 minutes, so 27 seconds difference. And I'm really happy with that. Towards the end, I had enough in the tank to keep me going. And it was amazing. I can't believe I managed to get across the line. But before I finish, I just wanted to say, I asked Laura to write down what she thought would be my marathon finish time. And she wrote down 3:58:36, which I was very flattered with. And then I looked at the Garmin, or the Strava after, and it said my marathon time, because obviously it recorded the course long, was 3:58:38. So she would have been 2 seconds out. I just wish that was my official time, because could you imagine that? Absolutely bonkers that she managed to to pluck that number out of the air. But am I gutted that I didn't quite get a sub 4 hours? Absolutely not, because the feeling of getting a 20-minute PB was just amazing. And as I said before, there's always the next one to work towards. Thank you so much for everyone that's followed me for this training block. Your support has meant more than you can ever know. Your positive comments really help to drive me forward and get that time. And yeah, I'm just beyond thankful that I can't believe so many people watch these videos. It's amazing. So thank you. Would I recommend doing Amsterdam? Absolutely, 1,000,000%. Put your name down for it next year. It's an amazing event. And Laura and I had the best time, living our best lives, traveling through Europe and then finishing with a marathon on the last day. How am I feeling today? Not too bad. I've just been for a little recovery walk around the river. That felt really good. Legs are feeling actually quite good. I'm going to have a few more days of chill time. Don't know what my next run's going to be, but I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, immensely proud of getting this medal. So on that note, I will say thank you again. And I'll see you on the next one, whatever that may be about. Ta-da.